think it's about time you go outside, don't you? I mean, you're just staring at a blank computer screen. Go on, turn off your computer. Okay, maybe after this video. CeleGREAT outdoors. Hey internet, how do you feel about water? Well, I like it, and we need it no matter where we are, and since I'm about to embark on an almost 5,000-mile journey on foot, I need to ensure that I have access to fresh, sparkling drinking water at all times. And I've got my handy water reservoir so I can get to sipping while I'm walking. I'm going to have this water jug to help refill this, and I might even get a second water reservoir that's built into a vest. But what happens whenever I guzzle all the liquids in these? Well, I'll just have to find a natural source of water, of course, but that can be risky. So I got this water purifier, and I'm going to test it out for you. Alright, now let me introduce you to the Lifesaver bottle. Now this is the 6,000 model. Now these are very expensive for water filtration, but let me explain why that really doesn't matter. Now this is probably going to cost you about $180. Now you might be saying, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to pay that at all. Well, guess what? This baby, there's a reason why it's called the 6,000, because you can filter 6,000 liters before you need to get a replacement cartridge. You just need to replace the thing in the center. And 6,000 liters, that's over 1,500 gallons of water. Now how long is that going to take you to go through 1,500 gallons of water? That's going to take a long time. Now the cartridge is about, I think it's like 130 bucks. So to replace it every time, it'll be 130 bucks, 130 bucks. But I mean, I think you'd have a hard time even going through that if you camped a ton of times through 1 year. I mean, it's probably gonna take a year or two unless you're using this for a bunch of people. But I mean, that's a lot of water to filter through there. And it also comes with, I don't have this in there. This lasts about I think 66 gallons, and this really filters things down. This is fine on its own, but if you want some really good filtration, what you do is you put this inside there. It goes inside. It'll be sitting right about in there. But that really filters out a lot more stuff. But this on its own, this is going to filter more than any other filter out there. I mean, there's a reason it costs so much. It really filters a lot of stuff, and you can get them in different sizes. You can get a 4,000 model. It's a little cheaper. Obviously, it'll only do 4,000 liters until it's gone, and it comes with this strap here, which you can hook from there to there, so they have a nice little strap. And what you want to probably do is you can get padded bags that'll fit these in there, and that'll keep it insulated, because you don't want to get this too cold. You can't operate this obviously below freezing, and you don't want to take this below, I think it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit or something. Otherwise you'll mess up the system. It also comes with a little replacement mouthpiece that goes in here. Right there, it already has one on there. I mean, these are chew-proof, but you know, you never know. It might just get old and you want to put a new one in. Well, it comes with a new one. You can just pop it right in there. And it also comes with a little bit of silicone grease, because this has a pump on the bottom. And after a while, you might notice that it's kind of like it's rubbing a little too much. It's not as smooth. There's your little pump action. You can just they give you a little grease to keep up on it. So I mean, this is going to last you a long time. If you camp a lot, I mean, this will come in handy, because I mean, this, in all honesty, if you want to go see somebody else demo this, watch the guy demo this on one of those TED Talks videos. He puts rabbit turds in the water. So this thing can filter anything. I mean, he drinks it right afterwards. So I mean, this will filter about pretty much anything. You could take septic water and probably filter it through this and you'd be fine. So this is really advanced. You get 6,000 out of this one. The other one's 4,000. They even have big old jerry cans. But let me help. I'm going to demonstrate to this. Yes, you will need to prime this. You just do it once, and then just make sure you want to keep a little bit of water in there, because you cannot let the filter go dry, otherwise you'll have to replace it. But the bonus feature here is, as you're pumping it, I don't know if you can really see that well. You see where the little white is? That's the filter holes. So like right here, there's no filter below that. So if you just pump it up and just let it completely get all that water out, you'll have enough water left in there. You only need a couple tablespoons, and then it's fine and it won't dry out. But let me demo this for you. Here I've got a nice amount. This is straight out of my bathroom, nice and clean. But if I were to filter it from here to there, I mean, what are you gonna be able to tell? Oh, you went from clear water to clear water. That doesn't filter very much. So I got some dirt. Got a little bit of dirt. This will help us decide if things are working out. Well, let me take this pencil here. Let's see if that. Get that real stirred up. I wanted to get some nice high quality dirty dirt, but it is snowing outside, so this may take a little bit of stir up. This is some nice potting soil, which I would not recommend you eat or drink. Okay, there we go. Got a nice chocolate milk looking situation here. Okay, now I'm gonna put this bowl up here just in case I dump stuff, and all you do is take this off, take the bottom off, and right here you have a sponge. This is supposed to filter out stuff like that, but you can actually take, if you just have a small puddle, you can take that, you know, you got a little puddle of water, put it in there, and you can do it like that. It's a little handy little feature, but that helps filter out some of the bigger particles that you don't want in there. Oh, here we go. Ugh. Delicious potting soil. Oh. I'm glad I got this bowl. Okay, I think that'll do. That's nasty. Let me put that over here. I should have had something to wipe my hand off with. But you can see that blocked a lot of that. Go ahead and get that off there. And you can always rinse that off. You can get replacement sponge for that too after a long time of using that. Wipe my hand off here in a second after I close this. Then you just pop this right in the center. It's got a little spot for it. Close that. And you want to make sure when you first get it, this right here may not be screwed on completely, and I didn't, like when I was first testing it, I didn't have it screwed on completely. So if you hear, when you start pumping it, if you hear any like hissing noise, this probably is not tightened on. So go ahead and just keep tightening it. Make sure that's on there. I'm gonna wipe things off here for a second so I'm not so dirty. Alright, let me wipe the bottle off a little bit too, because I got pretty dirty. But when you're out in it, I mean, you can dip this right in the water, and it'll be a lot different than pouring it in with a pitcher. But you can dip this right in the water. This cap's sealed good, so you're not going to get anything on that. And then you wait for the magic to happen. Put that over here. Got a nice glass cup. All it takes is probably, just to get things started, just a couple pumps. And see, this has a lock on it too. Just unlock it, give it a couple, 1, 2, 3, probably good. and you go ahead and you open it up. Okay, then you have to pull the little mouthpiece open. See how that was right there? Well, let me see if you can see that. There you go. See how it just comes open like that? And then as you're going, you can just, if the flow starts to slow down, you can speed it right back up with a couple more pumps. And the beautiful thing about this thing is it's going to keep pumping. If it's still pumping water through, it has a good flow action, then it's still good to go. You don't need to replace it. The only time you're going to need to replace it is when you cannot get it to pump water through anymore. It has its own little feature where it shuts down after so many. Once you get to that 4,000 or 6,000 mark, it'll shut down. And see what I mean? Right about there, I still have that much water in there. So it's not going to be hard for you to remember to leave water in there. You have to actually try by going like this and then getting it to pump more out, because that won't pump out unless you tip it upside down to get it to go. So then you just close her like that. Put her, make sure you lock this back up. It's good to go. And that's the thing, if this isn't screwed on tight, it'll actually cause it to pull air in, it won't seal, and it'll probably leak whenever you set it like that, because that's what it was doing for me. It was leaking a little bit out the top, so just screw that on. But let's go ahead and take a look here. From this to that. Let me go ahead and sample this for you. There we go. That's just tastes like regular water. It does not taste like, oh, even for potting soil, that smells horrible. So I mean, what would you drink? I mean, if this was when you're out in it and you only have something that looks like this, would you risk it with another water filter? Would you actually try to drink that? Well, you can with this. I mean, I can't taste any. You would almost expect to taste like a little grittiness or something, but I don't taste anything, and that's because of that little foam piece on the bottom. And if I had the carbon filter in there, it would filter it even more. So it would be even. I mean, there's a slight chance that there might be a particulate or two. No, there's nothing. I mean, I cannot see anything that made it through there. And I mean, even this water, you can see stuff floating in it. So let's go ahead and compare. You got that floating. That's clear as can be. So nothing made it past anything. And if this will get out like chemicals, pesticides, tons of stuff, but again, this will only last 66 gallons, then you're gonna have to replace it, but it's only $30 for a 4-pack of these. So I mean, I'm probably gonna get like one more for my 5,000 mile trip, because I estimated I'll probably need to switch it out halfway through. But I mean, that's a 7-month trip, so unless you're doing something like that, you're probably not gonna have to worry about it. But whenever you store it for long term, take this out. You're gonna have to replace it whenever you do another one, but this one's fine as long as you leave water in it. So what do you think, guys? Pretty special? I mean, you're going to be in it and you're going to find water like this. It's murky, it's nasty, and you're not sure if you want to touch it, but you can touch it. Alright, now that was more of a visual test, but now it's time to get a real world test in and use it how it was supposed to be used. I would not drink out of this river normally, and it doesn't exactly look dirty, but you don't know what's in there. I mean, who knows whose septic tank empties into this thing. So I've got my bottle, got the bottom off right now. Keep that sponge on there. Just dunk her under. It'll fill up pretty quick. Make sure you have that cap on the bottom. tight and nothing's going to get in that way. It's already full. I'll go ahead and set you down here safely so you don't fall over. I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back on. A little bit will come out as you put the knob in. Let's go over here. Yeah, as you can see, temperatures are very, very low, so we're kind of risking it, but I wanted to really test it. The water's pretty cold, but I wouldn't say, obviously, it's not below freezing. It's not ice. So it's cold, but it should be at a temperature that's safe enough. Alright, you can see me? Okay. Yeah, and I can see that that water was a little brown. Just go ahead and give it a couple pumps. And I try not to use this directly from your mouth, because especially when you have that carbon filter in there, you can get, you know, your backwash or whatever, microbial buildups on that carbon filter, and that's why they say when you store it, don't leave it in there, because if you leave it in there and you have been drinking straight with your mouth right over that mouthpiece, you might run into a little buildup over time, because I mean it's a damp location and it's been filtering grime out, so that's why you don't leave that in there. And that's why I usually, oh, you got to see the fail-safe. When you pump it too much, this will open by itself, so you can't really over pump it. See, it's pretty good, pretty good. Look at that clear flow. Tastes really good. Really good. Close that up. Alright, now that I know I'm going to have fresh water on my journey, why don't you click that first link down below and go ahead and bookmark that site, because you'll soon see up at the top there's a map where you can follow along with me on my journey, and I hope you will. But if you'd like to help me out on my journey, and you want some more information on how you can do that, well, stay tuned, because you're going to find out how you can help in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey guys, I set up a crowdfunding campaign at Indiegogo, and I'm giving away a lot of cool gifts for anyone willing to contribute and help me reach my goal of walking/running from Delaware to California. I'll be on foot for 7 straight months next year in an effort to help inspire children and their parents to get outside more often. Now, I'm willing to put in 4,834 miles to help end childhood obesity. Are you willing to click that annotation to find out how you can help?